What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Weight. I am your host, as always, Joseph Coizza, and today we are talking about being hungry while on a diet. Now, this is something I'm not really surprised about, that I see a lot of forums, I see a lot of people asking questions about. This is something I struggle with myself. I know, not a lot of people talk about their struggles when starting and getting into it. They're just like, oh, everything's great, everything's, good, I always look this way. No, especially coming from 300 pounds and being a little fat boy and liking donuts and cake to being a, now 190, less fat boy who still likes donuts and cake but don't eat it as much. It's definitely a kind of a culture shock, kind of an internal like what the fuck's going on when you switch to a diet, especially like obviously right at the beginning, or even if you come back from it, say after a break from like a Christmas thing, or you're on vacation, something like that. It's like, okay, now I'm into this, I'm hungry all the time. And a lot of people struggle with that, especially when starting like keto diets and this diet and that diet and this. People struggle with being hungry all the time when you're trying to lose weight, obviously. And the problem is usually you're not eating enough food or you're not eating the right food. So we're gonna focus on the first part where it's like, a diet, you're not eating enough food? No, I'm so shocked. Yeah, that's kind of what you could just be like, okay, I'm eating, 1,200 calories a day. I'm eating 1,100 calories a day. I'm super heavy, or I just wanna lose weight really, really quick. That's not good. Okay, you can't be cutting your calories down too terribly much. You have to do it within a reasonable amount. You wanna hit those small goals. So I didn't set out immediately to lose, 100 plus pounds. I just wanted to lose some weight, not just be a huge fat boy and just be a little bit less of a fat boy. Okay, but eventually that would help me. If I set out with this giant goal, maybe it wouldn't have been that good for me. Maybe I would have tried to do that and would have failed and been hungry more so than I was. You have to set with a small goal. Okay, if I'm eating 3,000 calories right now, I get on, I use a good calorie app. It's tracking everything I need to do, and it says I need to be eating, from 3,000, I need to be eating 2,400, 2,500 calories. You're like, oh, okay, 500 calories, it's a good amount, don't get me wrong, but it's not this ridiculous amount. I'm gonna be eating, sub 1,000 calories or anything like that, especially when you're not super knowledgeable on it. You're gonna be like, well, yeah, obviously you're trying to lose a pound a week. You're trying to lose, a pound every 2 weeks, something like that. Like you're only trying to lose 10, 20 pounds in the span of like a couple months. You're not trying to lose all this weight all at once like that. That's not the goal. And that's what a lot of things like The Biggest Loser. They'll lose all this weight super quick. And it's harder to do that for one, and two, it's harder to keep that off. It's also not super great for your body if you're doing that on your own, obviously. Obviously with a health coach and doing all that, that's, far be it from me. I'm not a medical professional and I don't know your body. But you're just trying to lose all this weight super quick and go, okay, I'm gonna eat nothing. That's not the point of a diet. A diet is to help you lose weight or achieve a certain goal by getting the right nutritional standards, by eating the right amount of food. Not just less food, the right amount of food. Okay, so everybody's just like, oh, you're gonna be stuck eating kale salads all day. No, you have to eat the right amount of food. If you're used to eating a lot of pizza, yes, you may, have to cut down on the pizza. All right, so if you're just saying I'm gonna eat less food, that could, cause to a problem because maybe you just need to be eating the right food. Instead of say having all this food and cutting it down to zero, you'd have to have a happy medium. Instead of, for someone like me, I have a whole bunch of sodas. I'd have like, 60 plus sodas, 30 cups a day, at least 2 days a week at the restaurant. I'd be having 60 cups of soda a weekend. That's a lot. Of course, 3 or 4 slices of pizza, this, that. Even if I would have cut that down to say 10 cups of soda a weekend, obviously it's still not good for you at all. Okay, and then instead of 3 or 4 slices of pizza a day, it was 1 or 2, let's just say. I'm still gonna lose weight. Even though I'm not eating the right foods, I'm still gonna lose weight because I'm eating less food of this ridiculously crazy amount of food. You may need to eat more food. Some foods that you need to eat more of that, well, again, we're gonna get into that are good for you. Things like healthy fruits and vegetables. Obviously, you wanna be having a lot of fruit with natural sugars. Natural sugars it's a lot better than having a processed sugar, but you don't wanna be eating a super large amount of any type of sugar, really. But having things like, obviously your lettuces, obviously, your vegetables. Vegetables are very good for you, natural, organic type stuff. Fruits, the same thing, obviously very good for you if you're just, okay, you know what, and for breakfast I'm gonna have a bowl of fruit. Okay, that can also not be, that could be a fulfilling thing for you if you have the right fruits. Or, for a snack I'm gonna have an apple. You eat a whole apple, that's, that's as filling as, say, like a cookie or so, or 2 cookies. If you eat a whole apple, that's, a lot of apple. Especially if you mix it with something like maybe a little bit of peanut butter or a little bit of something like that. Obviously not a full sugar option, but maybe like, a healthier version of it, a little less unsweetened or something along those lines. You have to eat food. That's kind of an important part of living. You have to be able to eat and get that nutrition. So don't just stop eating food altogether. Don't just cut out all this food. do it smart. Eat the right food and eat the right amount of food. Don't just eat less. Which brings us now into eating the right food. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm on a diet and I'm not losing any weight, or oh, I'm on a diet and I'm hungry all the time. Obviously the main point, I'm hungry all the time. Well, because you're not eating the right food. You're just saying, okay, I'm gonna eat less food. Okay, well, you eat 1 donut now instead of 2. That's not good because you're not eating the right food. Yeah, you're hungry all the time. Well, I'm on a diet, I'm eating less. That doesn't matter. You need to be eating the right food. You need to be eating things that are gonna, 1, fill you up, and 2, be nutritious and healthy for your body. Things like protein. Protein can obviously fill you up a lot. If you eat a lot of protein, there's not a whole lot of adverse side effects from eating lean meat proteins. You know, I mean, something like that, you have like some chicken, some grilled chicken prepared properly, something like that, maybe a little bit of seasoning or whatever. There's not a whole lot of adverse, like, oh, this is gonna be horrible for me. And you can eat a sizable amount of it and be hungry. Okay, I'm hungry, let me have some chicken. Okay, I'm hungry, let me have some broccoli. I'm hungry, let me have a small salad. Obviously you want to go throwing crazy dressings and this and sugary that on top of it, but let me have a small salad or something. I'm hungry, let me make myself, a healthy sandwich if I'm, really hungry and I haven't had anything all day. That could be a meal. It's important to eat the right foods and the right amount of foods. Again, some things that you eat a lot of that are good for you, obviously lean meat proteins. You could have some nuts and some berries and such. Obviously, you don't want to go too heavy on the sugar, and you gotta watch it out because they also have those fats, again, healthier natural fats than your processed saturated fats. But it's still a lot healthier and it could be a good snack. That's something I did. Okay, I'm gonna eat what I want, but I'm just gonna eat less of it. And that's good in my initial weight loss, especially because I was consuming so much. But if you're just a little overweight, or you're, into the more, not a little overweight, but not super overweight, you're kind of within that, that middle range, you're just overweight. And you want to lose weight, the important thing is to say get a calorie track. Have something reputable like MyFitnessPal is what I use. I'm not sponsored by them, just something I use. A lot of my fitness friends use them. A lot of people who lost weight, a lot of good reviews come from that. You find out, okay, here's how many calories I have, and here's the type of nutrients I could be having. And you can find what works for you. I absolutely hate fruits. I mean, it's gonna be a lot tougher for you if you absolutely hate fruit, but let's just say you hate fruit, okay? Let's say you hate vegetables or something. Okay, you could have, instead of having fruits, have vegetables. Instead of having vegetables, have fruits. Have proteins, some healthy lean protein. You could have carbs. Carbs aren't this horrible thing for you. Obviously, you need some carbs in your life. They like that energy source. Same thing with fat. But if you have healthy, not saturated fats, if you have carbs, say complex carbs, some whole wheat this, some low fat or low saturated fat that, you can work about and find the diet that works for you. Again, just eating the right amount of the right amount of the right. It's just eating the right amount of the right type of foods. And then that will avoid you being hungry all the time. If you're just, oh, I'm hungry, we're starting a diet. Make a plan. Okay, I want this. Try it. Okay, first day I'm still hungry. Okay, second day I'm still hungry. All right, I gotta change it. I can see this is gonna help me out. Okay, add a little bit of food. Oh, okay, well, if I'm gonna go over my calories, let me change this. And you find what works for you. Bacon and eggs in the morning, okay, maybe I have that. But then at night, you can't go super hard with, 2 meatball parms. You can't do that, okay? If you have a meatball parm at night, okay, well, you have to go easy a little bit then for breakfast. Or something, maybe you're a big snacker. Maybe you have a lot of snacks. Ooh, I'll have a french fry here, I'll have a candy bar that. But all the rest of your meals are healthy. Well, you have to work that around. It's all part of building a diet is finding the right amount of foods and the right type of foods. Doing that in return then will have you not being hungry all the time. You're not supposed to be hungry on a diet. You're supposed to be eating the right amount of the right type of foods. So if you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I shall see you all next time. Peace.